The Fromark Play show is recorded in front of a live studio microphone. Hey folks, Fromark here with the playthrough again, and this is the Super Mario Bros. 2 playthrough. And right off the rip, you got the main plot here. When Mario climbs a stair in his dream, he opens a door and discovers a world, and then he wakes up and goes to a cave and sees what he's seen in his dreams. So, a lot of weird dream stuff going on. Man, what is this? The hit movie Inception? Anyways, this is 1-1, and personally, I've always considered this to be kind of the black sheep in the Mario franchises. This isn't really a Mario game. It was originally released in 1988 over in Japan as a game called Doki Doki Panic. No, not Doki Doki Literature Club. But no, a platformer game which was basically the same as what you see here, only with 4 different characters. And yeah, you'll notice that there are 4 different playable characters in this game. Mario, Luigi, Toad, and the princess. Personally, whenever I was growing up, I always thought the princess was the best character to play as, just because she was the easiest character to play as, because it was pretty much the easy mode of the game. The Luigi mode was the slightly less easy mode, and then the Mario mode was probably the most difficult. I feel like most of my headache-inducing moments in recording this playthrough were the Mario levels, which I try to show off the characters in an even amount, level by level. And you hear that sinister music? This is the mini-boss Birdo. And there are 3 different variations of Birdo that you will see throughout the game. There's this one that just shoots eggs, and then there's a red Birdo that shoots eggs and fire. And then there's a green Birdo that shoots fire only. Also, the rooms that you see where you get the super mushroom power-ups. There's grass you can pull up in those rooms and get coins for those slot machines that show up at the end of every level. I don't show off any of those just because I'm garbage at them. I've been garbage at every form of slot machine I've ever messed with, and I'm glad I've never really been to a real casino to burn through a lot of money, because I know I would. I love slot machines, but I'm just garbage at them. Whenever I was a kid, my grandparents used to go to auctions and end up with just random junk and odds and ends and random items. And they brought home a slot machine one time whenever I was like 3 or 4, and I played with it a bunch. I thought it was the coolest thing, but I always knew that if I ever messed with a real slot machine, I'd be trash at it. And of course, growing up, my parents had Super Mario All-Stars on the Super Nintendo, and I played a lot of that and a lot of this, which is what this version is. This is played off the Super Mario All-Stars collection, which the Super Mario All-Stars collection had Mario 1, 2, 2, and 3. And I want to get back to that. So there was a version of Super Mario 2 that was kind of like Super Mario 1. Only over in Japan they were like, yeah, this is too difficult for American audiences, so we're going to give them a reskinned version of Doki Doki Panic with Mario characters. And so we ended up getting what's not technically a Mario game, all things considered. Still, I don't think it's a bad game. I just had kind of a bad experience with recording it because I forgot how difficult this game actually was. Plus, whenever I did a lot of my playthroughs as a kid, I would always just skip to the end through warp pipes because I knew where they all were. It's pretty easy to skip through the end of this game really quickly. As is also the case in Mario 1 and 3. Plus, I didn't play this game as much as those 2 games on that collection as a kid. which the next game I record is going to be Super Mario 3, and I'm really looking forward to that playthrough because I got a lot of really nostalgic moments and a lot of really cool stories to share, and that's going to be a pretty good playthrough. I was not really looking forward to doing this one as much because I forgot how much I didn't really care as much for this game. Just because it's so weird and trippy and there's a lot of and like I said, it's not really so much a Mario game. But there's a lot of cool things to point out too, like there's a lot of things that are referenced in the Super Mario Brothers Super Show cartoon. Like, for example, the enemy I'm getting ready to fight. Hang on a sec. Wait for those bombs to go away. That's Mauser. Even though he looks completely different in that cartoon, he's there, and there's a lot of music and just... There's a couple other enemies that are from this game that are in that cartoon. To tell you the truth, I didn't think that cartoon was all that bad, but I look back at it kind of fondly because whenever I was 11, I'd saved up like $25 and I went to Walmart and I seen this DVD box set of the Super Mario Brothers Super Show, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get that because I want to see what that was. Because I had heard of it through Wikipedia. And I was like, yeah, that would be pretty cool to see. Plus, it would be pretty cool to have something based off a video game, which I didn't know a whole lot about that kind of stuff at the time. My first experience with ever learning about a video game-based cartoon was the Super Mario Bros. 3 cartoon. And that was because I found a DVD in a box of cereal. There was like one or two episodes on it. It also had an episode of Heathcliff, which was pretty cool. Honestly, I think Heathcliff cooler than Garfield. And no, he's not just a generic Garfield. But yeah, it was kind of weird that they were giving away these DVDs in a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch at the time, but I ended up with it, and I want to kind of save the rest of that story for the Mario 3 playthrough and anything to do with Mario 3. Since this is Mario 2, it's just, I really wasn't looking forward as much to recording this one because I'm not as good as this game, and I had to relearn how to play as every character because every character has a different mechanic and kind of plays differently. Like I said, playing as the princess here is kind of the easy mode. Bonk. But yeah, these Birdo enemies, you just gotta deliver 3 bonks, and then they spit out these orbs, and after you get done pondering said orbs, you go on to the next level. Moving things along pretty smoothly so far, though. And yeah, this is World 2, the desert area. Which I guess this was the first game to make desert levels a staple in Mario games. I would say this level was the first one of the headache-inducing moments for me behind the scenes with the recording process, just because avoiding those lizard enemies. There's a 1-up hidden there, and that was pretty cool. Plus, I actually knew where the power-up room was in this area, so I went ahead and went for it. I don't get to show off every one of those hidden rooms in every level because I don't know where all of them are, but I'll show off a few of them here and there. If you hit the enemies a certain number of times, those hearts will show up and replenish your health if you need it. Can't remember how many times, I think it's like 6 or 7, somewhere around that. Plus, if you get a certain number of hearts, that's when the invincibility stars show up. You also gotta look out for them stupid red shy guys when you're digging, because they'll just kind of follow you around. It's one thing I didn't really care so much for about World 2 is there's just a lot of these digging areas where you just kind of gotta keep digging. But this is the first appearance of the red birdo that shoots the fire. Well, it shoots eggs and fire. The green one doesn't show up until much later. And this is the first of many encounters with the red birdo. Oh. That one didn't go too well. But yeah, this whole game's just freaking weird. I don't understand it. The cool thing about it, though, is enemies like Birdo and the Shy Guys, this is where they came from and would become mainstays in the Mario franchise, even though they're not originally Mario characters. Gotta ponder that word for a second. But yeah, I don't even bother to show off any of those slot machines just because, like I said, I'm garbage at them. Plus, I would have had to put up like a seizure/epilepsy warning, I feel, because those are very flashy and bright when you do manage to get the one-ups. Yeah, we're back to playing as Luigi here to get through more of these desert areas, and we got another one of them freaking digging sections here where this time we gotta dig down for the key. Yeah, I don't feel like there's really much more to talk about when it comes to just digging and digging. Digging I guess just digging a hole here. Just gonna dig down here to get to this door here. So, seems like a good idea. And then you got more of this trippy stuff going on here with these freaking floating heads. Didn't really mention them earlier, but yeah, if you get you gotta look out for these floating heads, because anytime you get a key, they start showing up, and you gotta look out for them. This, like I said, this whole game's freaking weird. Overall, though, I don't think it's a really bad game. I just prefer Mario 1 and 3. If I'm playing the All-Stars collection, I'm gonna play Mario 1 or 3 before I play 2. Before I play 2 again. Gotta look out for them lizards spewing bullets. Which are probably the most difficult enemy to deal with here in World 2. But on to the World 2 boss. And the World 2 boss, I believe, is another character that makes an appearance in the Mario Super Show. This is Triclide, a three-headed fire-spewing dragon thing. But yeah, I think I've seen an episode of the Super Show where he shows up. Anyways, this is the end of Mario 2 Part 1. I'll see you in Part 2.